Oh, last time we got about like I'll say 4 or 5 inches,
Wow.
and yeah, and it's not even winter, like fully winter yet.
Yeah, we haven't gotten any snow yet. So alhamdulillah, I don't want to wish that on us. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, last time we got about like. Was that recording? Oh, I thought somebody was talking.
That's it.
Sorry, I like live streamed it and then yeah.
I thought I was hearing something.
I just muted it. It was the live stream thing. My bad. Okay.
I can't wait to find out what you guys do and everything this event. I love hearing tech people and hearing what they do. So
It's literally so many different careers and different fields and different places. It's gonna be very interesting. I'm excited to learn from you all as well. I feel like I should have done the ice cream thing on live with you guys.
All right, we can repeat it again.
We can do it again, yeah. So I asked them before we came on the live thing, I said, describe your personality using ice cream flavors. So go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to say the best ice cream flavor because we've had some discrepancies with some of the ice cream flavors, but I'm just going to say salted caramel is what I would describe myself because it sounds like a combination that doesn't work, but it works. And it doesn't taste like toothpaste too. Just saying. It doesn't taste like toothpaste too. And it tastes nice.
Shots fired.
That's what I'm going to say. I've opened the floor. Let the other haters come through. Let them come.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Zanele from South Africa. I'm the founder of Welo. We do like medicine deliveries, at-home medicine deliveries. And my ice cream flavor would be mint. Yeah, mint. Anything that has mint. So chocolate mint. Yeah, refreshing. Toothpastey is fine, but I love it.
Okay, I'll go next. Hi guys, my name is Duran. I'm from Minnesota, US. I am the founder of Aleph Cloud and a few other businesses. Aleph Cloud is a school management application. It's a SaaS business. So my favorite chocolate, I'm not a chocolate person, but I go with the traditional dark chocolate and sometimes milk chocolate.
Cool. My name's Alan. I'm a designer originally from Ohio, currently living in London. I'm the co-founder of two businesses, 5ID Studio and Time Mixer Bottle with Mohammed, who's also in the chat as well. And if I had to describe myself as an ice cream flavor, I'd go with mint chocolate chip.
You have to say why. Remember that was the main part.
Yes, okay. Why? Because it's got a lot of flavor and it's cool and laid back. So that's just my personality. That's how I am.
I guess I can go next. Hello, everyone. My name is Mohammed Rage. I'm the founder and president of 5ID Studio, along with Titan Mixer Bottle. And I am based in Columbus, Ohio. If I had to describe myself using an ice cream flavor, it would definitely be cookies and cream with a little bit of caramel. The reason why, I can't really explain, to be honest with you. It just works well together. That flavor is heavenly.
Yeah, I'm next. Hi everyone, my name is Khalid. I chose earlier vanilla as my kind of personality ice cream because I thought vanilla would be the most versatile, and I kind of feel like that's how I am. So yeah, that's why I said vanilla.
And hi everyone, my name is Ibrahim. I'm based in Birmingham. I'm the co-founder of Berryphone with Ido. And if I had to describe myself as an ice cream, I would say mint as well. I'm gonna go back and say mint. Do you know what? Underrated champion. That's all. Underrated champion.
Yeah.
Hey Ibrahim, I just want to say I love Web Betty Phone, man. I tune into the radio all the time when I'm working.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Yeah, that SoundCloud mix is fire. So shout out to whoever put that together.
Yeah, Idol's out here all the time creating fire.
International. Mashallah.
Yes. So then I'll go next. I'm Idil. I'm also the co-founder together with Ibrahim Phone, and I'm currently based in Berlin, Germany. So I think I'm the only German in here, I guess. Yeah, that would be me. And I chose mango earlier because mango is my favorite fruit, and it makes sense to also eat it as ice cream because it's a safe bet for me.
That's everyone. It's everyone. Did I miss anyone?
I think everybody knows mine's mint chocolate chip. Yeah, you can carry on.
No, go ahead.
My name's Yasmin, and I'm based in East London, and I chose mint chocolate chip. I didn't have a reason, it's just my go-to. I think I was being a pain when I was younger. Nobody liked it, so I chose it.
You're also a Lakers fan? I see the Kobe Bryant jersey in the back.
I'm actually a Sixers fan, but I'm a Kobe fan as well.
Everybody's Kobe's fan.
Yeah.
Oh, there's someone in the comments from Germany. We have like a diverse viewing. So there you go. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a brief presentation, super brief. It's like 4 slides. And then we will go into the panel discussion. Let me just share my screen. Can you guys all see it?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, okay. So welcome to our fireside chat. Thank you to our panelists for making the time to be here and share their lovely insights with us. Also, a special thank you to our audience for taking part in another sold out event. I still can't believe that, by the way. Finally, a big shout out to our partners, the Ignite Network. Before we get started, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items so you know how to participate in today's event. So our events are an occasion for groups and individuals to come together from across the world. And in doing so, we ask all of our participants to be mindful that our events are not politically driven and instead encourage diversity. We also ask, as this is a live recorded event, that you do not swear or use inappropriate language. And most importantly, we encourage you to be yourself. At any time during the webinar, you have the opportunity to submit your questions to today's panelists. And to do so, there's a little question thing at the bottom of the Zoom at the control panel. And if the time allows, the panelists will address as many questions as they can during the Q&A session at the end. We're also live streaming on YouTube at the moment, and the recording will be available at the end. There's also a little survey at the end that will be really, really helpful if you guys fill it out so that we know how much you enjoyed the event and what you'd like us to change in the future. I'm going to do a quick intro on who I am and what Bridge the Gap in Tech is as well. So I'm Hannah. I'm the founder of Hannah Codes, which is a digital agency where I help companies with what I call growth design to enable brands to navigate and thrive. This involves web design, branding, social media marketing. And I'm also the founder of Bridge the Gap in Tech, which is a virtual group that meets bi-weekly to discuss and share knowledge relating to tech from different perspectives all around the world. Quick intro, how I got into tech. I started out in a sciencey background. So I started out in pharmacy first, and I quickly realized that I didn't like it as much as I thought. I took a really short module in computer science to indulge my curiosity, and I realized how much I enjoyed it. I was also an avid gamer at the time, and that interest in gaming for leisure made the interest in coding more apparent to me. So I didn't realize how connected they were until I took a course on it. I'm also a sole parent to a beautiful 4-year-old girl that I'm teaching how to code. And when I first got into tech, I noticed that it was lacking a lot of diversity. So I felt that it was very important to create this group where people like me could feel comfortable and network. So far, Bridging the Gap has been very successful in allowing people to network, And so many people who have been interested in getting into tech are finding the representation and support they so desperately needed. It's also been fun to see how the community has started to grow and the new people starting their tech journeys and getting jobs through this. It's been mind-blowing, honestly. So what is Bridge the Gap in Tech? So think of us as your supportive digital family in tech. We're here to help you achieve your tech career goals through training, programs, outreach, and access to our community. We aim to diversify tech through the UK and abroad. I also started Bridge the Gap out of the desire for ongoing, accessible, and inclusive tech events for Black people living in London. I realized there was a space needed where individuals from non-Western cultures would feel welcomed, empowered, and comfortable to participate without compromising on their values. And since our first event in March, the group has steadily grown, providing a comfortable and empowering space to those who need it most. I also now have a remarkable team that shares my vision and are willing to help grow Bridge the Gap in Tech. So I'm briefly going to talk about what our vision is and what I think our vision is. Give me a second of being interrupted by my daughter.
Okay.
Right.
That's okay.
Sorry. Trust me to be live. Interrupted. It's absolutely fine.
Oh, I think you're muted.
Yeah, I muted myself because I was talking. Okay, so our vision and visibility for Bridge the Gap in Tech is to showcase tech professionals from diverse backgrounds in the mainstream media and create these events to give an accurate and positive representation to the community that we serve so that we feel empowered and motivated to enter tech. Self-sustainability to help individuals become self-sustainable through long-term career growth and consistent mentoring, helping them through their career difficulties by preparing them for each stage of their tech journey and giving them the empowerment to be their own best advocate. The community building aspect is to build a community that collaborates, partners, and shares resources, one that understands the importance of giving back as much as you take and the importance of mentorship as a vehicle for growth. Participation to increase the numbers of Black and minorities at all levels on tech and including upper management, business intelligence and ownership, and generational and global economics to transfer wealth and knowledge to the younger generation through projects and initiatives to facilitate collaboration back home in Africa and to help through socially impactful projects and to create a community of active participation on the global stage. So the reason why I wanted to do this event specifically was to highlight the excellence of our community and to share our stories. According to CB Insights, most startups fail in the first year. So kudos to all of you for putting yourself out there and taking up this space and being in this space right now. Only about half of the small businesses survive past the 5-year mark. So beyond that, only about 3 small businesses get to the 10-year mark and live to tell the tale. All of this might sound really discouraging, but by identifying the primary causes of business failure, and adjustments can be made to allow you to place the odds in your favor. And from learning from us, people that look like you who are in the industry is a win. So I'm excited to hear about all your journeys and to learn from each and every one of you too. I'm going to pass on to our sponsor, Ignite Network. We are honored to be teaming up with such an amazing organization who are also dedicated to improving the representation of young people from minority and ethnic backgrounds in various career sectors. So passing on to Khaled now so that he can briefly talk about Ignite Network and all the amazing things they do.
Hey everyone, hope you guys can all hear me, and thank you, Hannah, for that brilliant introduction and overview. I'm really excited for what's about to be for the next hour or so. We're really proud to sponsor this event. I think one of the reasons was to why we were happy to do this because our visions are quite aligned, and we're aiming towards the same thing. So, kind of overview is organization, as Hannah said, help those from mining backgrounds, also from lower socioeconomic backgrounds, and upskill them and motivate them to achieve to up them towards the key. As to why I started this was because many people, often from such backgrounds, go to get into their career path. Also, another reason, times there are many firms, many corporations often well under those kind of areas. So I want to try help improve that. And I thought the best way to do that was not just to solely do it myself, but do it through a team and do it for an organization. So we kind of started off in August, kind of launched nationwide. So we had to focus on UK. However, I'm a member, and so what we kind of live by 3 principles, and those 3 principles are to equip, to enlighten, and also to empower. The reason principles because people are often ambitious and very motivated and have to achieve whatever they want to achieve, but however they're unaware of what career opportunities are out there. They're unaware of what they can do and what they can apply to, for example. And also another issue that many people face is, especially from people from these backgrounds, is they lack the skills. So, for example, they might not know how to make a CV, or they don't know what skills they need to kind of achieve to get. So we want to, launch events and do workshops that kind of upskill people. And lastly, we want to empower people to feel motivated that they can do whatever they want to do, regardless of where they came from, because it's very doable. They just need to be guided almost. So over the kind of the first 2 months of launch, we I think with the help of this virtual world, we managed to reach so many more people. So we currently have more than 300 members from I don't know how many countries, but more than 5 countries. The majority are from the UK, so we do have more of a UK focus at the moment. And we have done many sorts of events kind of aligned towards those 3 principles. So we've launched a mentoring program where we pair professionals or people that have done experience in many different kind of fields, such as law, technology, consulting, etc. So that was really successful. So that's currently going on at the moment. We also have done workshops and many events. So workshops can range from kind of other people with regards to kind of perfecting their CVs, their cover letters, and interview skills, to help them get through this process of getting a job, internships and whatnot. And also we've done kind of helped on this focus of exposing people to kind of a wide range of opportunities. We've done events with regards to kind of exposing people to, for example, we've done 2, I think, so far, banking and consulting, and hopefully we want to do a lot more. In the future, hopefully we want to do things like technology and other industries as well. And finally, we've also got a green program where this year we've just done our first training program, which is more of an intensive version of these workshops. And this consulting, but however, as we grow and do more and more, we want to do much more programs and hopefully help people. So it's done really well. And on 2 months for so many days I don't even know some place where what's it called. So it's really good. And so that's why I think one of the reasons why we wanted to sponsor this event as well, because although this is a tech first, it's exactly what we're trying to do. So we wish you guys all the best as well, and looking forward to hearing from the rest of the panel as well.
Thank you for that. It's really good to hear about Ignite
No
Network and all the stuff we're doing. We've plugged your Twitter page, but feel free to plug anything else you want in the little thing.
Will do. Thank you.
So we're going to move on to Ibrahim and Idil to briefly talk about all the amazing things they've been doing and how they built up what they're doing as well.
Thank you, Hannah, for putting together, this panel and everything you're doing. It's great. So I'm Ibrahim, and I'm the co-founder along with Idil of Phone, which is like a digital kind of like archive, almost like a cultural platform. I think what happened was, and I felt this I felt this quite a bit for a few years, was that we saw that there was a kind of disconnect between the younger diasporas and the language and the culture. And we wanted to really find a way to, bridge that gap, and so that the young people have a much more tangible connection to, back home, like Somalia or whatever. And so and then we realized as well that there is quite a bit of curiosity about the culture and things like that, but it's quite difficult to find resources, especially if you don't speak the language, or you can't read or you can't read Somali, or you can't write in Somali. So basically that was one of the main things that we were trying to do. And then it kind of grew from there. And then we deeped, because I feel like there's a kind of little narrative that goes on, like young people aren't interested in the culture and they don't want to learn and this and that. But just the fact that the platform has grown in little less than a year to where it is now, it's big proof that there is that there was quite a hunger for learning about the culture and things like that. Maybe it'll.
Yes, thank you, Hannah, for inviting us. I really appreciate it. So I'm also looking forward to hearing about all the other startups and businesses and maybe exchanging a few insights. So as Ibrahim already mentioned, we co-founded WebBuddyPhone around a year ago, so it's been a year. And the journey in itself, it really didn't start off as we want to found something. It was just the essential or the organic next step to then create something that is tangible so other people understand the concept behind it. And one of the things under the umbrella of WebBuddyPhone was also then a record label that we launched, because for us, in order to share what we were trying to convey and what we were trying to preserve, then further develop and also document, was for us to find ways that is understood in the Western concept ideas of what a platform is. So the record label then grew out of that. And yeah, that's been the journey that we have enjoyed a lot. And it was initially the idea that brought Ibrahim and I together. So we didn't know each other prior to WebBuddyPhone. It was us sharing the idea with other people who then connected us. And I think that's maybe a perspective that we would like to share here, as a lot of you guys are maybe just running a business alone, and what it is to have another partner, or how you balance each other out. So it would also be interesting to see another person who's co-running another platform together. And my background is I studied international business studies, and I currently work for big e-commerce here in Berlin. So the WebBuddyPhone thing is something that we do as a passion, and it's a side thing, but it feels like bigger than that. So yeah, it's a short.
Shout out to Ahmed for introducing me and Idil.
Yes.
What we didn't know was that, because I personally, I had been thinking about something similar. Like I had been thinking about different ways to engage diaspora people with the culture, and different ways of bringing music ownership back to the artists from before the war. And Idil had been thinking about the same thing, and as such, it was literally by luck basically. And then he brought a guy called Ahmed, brought us together, who's really into Somali culture and music and things like that as well. And I think at the time I really and this is what was really important for me, because I was doing my A-levels at the time, right? I'm quite young, so I kind of understood that I needed someone who could almost like mentor me as part of the process as well, which is what I see Idul as well. And because although I feel like I know the culture a little bit, like I really enjoy the culture and things like that, having that kind of structure there was really important. And the thing with a partner is that you might have an idea, that you think will work, and there's this implicit trust, right? Because let's say Idil won't think the idea will work, but I think it will, like a new way of showing something, or a new artist to work with or whatever. Because we both come with the intention of, we want what's best for the group, right? There's like implicit trust of, okay, you try that, and if that doesn't work, we'll try this instead, right? So there's never like this, there's never this tug of war between us, because it's always been, love for the company, and love for the culture and things like that.
So what was your first win that made you confident that you guys were doing the right thing?
I think it's subjective at the end of the day, and what was the objective to begin with, where I think the messages that you get from people that connect to it, because regardless of if other people would have connected to it, I think Ibrahim and I would have been doing this regardless if there was a platform or not. So to then see that something that you're passionate about and you would be doing in your free time, for then to have emotional connection that transcends beyond you and the person you're sharing it with, was for me the biggest win. And I think it was a message from somebody in Norway who said that he was sharing his page with his daughter, our page, and teaching her his culture through that. And that was something that really moved me, because it's beyond just Ibrahim and I. It's the whole community, and it's a collective behind it. And I think that's a win for me, but I'm sure that there's other ways to interpret winning, but that's my subjective take.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Do you have anything you want to add, Ibrahim?
Yeah, I think what's really wild is like the artists, like we went to see Mariam Mursal a while ago, and she was like, when she found out what we were trying to do and things like that, she was like ecstatic, and just seeing the fact that, you know, it's not just us, right? We're not living in a bubble where we see that, you know, certain things are falling away or certain things are not being remembered and are being lost. But the artists have known that this has been going on for a while, and they see the importance of it. And certain artists of the world is like when the children of artists or the grandchildren of artists, they were like, oh, that's my grandfather, and don't explain the story of the song in the comments or stuff like that. That's quite cool as well.
That's so beautiful. Was someone going to say something? Sorry. No? Okay. That's beautiful. It's so good to hear about you guys' initiative and what you guys are doing for the culture. And please, I think we've plugged you already, but please plug anything that you feel like you want to plug in the chat. And then please chime into the chat as well. That'd be amazing. So next up is Yasmin. Go ahead.
Hey everyone. Firstly, thank you, Hannah. You have been entirely gracious in offering me this platform. I'm very new to doing things like this, and I'm very new to this term founder. I'm literally in my infancy at the moment. It's been 3 months, I think, that I've incorporated my company. So yeah, not even a toddler. I'm not even crawling at the moment. So thank you for putting me here with all these people who are far more established than I am in what I'm trying to do. And also sounds like we're very phone. I'm crap when it comes to the language, the culture. So it sounds like something I've taken away today that I can actually learn a little bit from, utilizing what you guys are putting out there. That sounds really, really cool. So in terms of my background, I've just told you that I'm in my infancy, 3 months into starting up a nonprofit. It's a community interest company, and it's at the heart is just helping other people. It sounds very basic, and people will be like, okay, how, what are you doing? I'll tell you a little bit about my journey up and to date, and then I can tell you a little bit about where my head is at the moment. So I graduated with an IT degree back in 2009. So I'm probably one of the older crowd here. So I graduated in 2009 with an IT degree. It was at the height of the financial crisis. So trying to find a job in tech, and I'm originally from Sheffield, so trying to find a job in Yorkshire where I can utilize the skills that I've just got from my degree was pretty hard to come by. And I ended up working in a call center. It was the only job that I could find. It was Atos, and we were dealing with people who had healthcare issues, trying to get them back into the workplace, which was probably one of the most soul-destroying jobs that you can possibly imagine. Somebody who has just gone through the worst health scare, biggest operation, and we're telling them the government's not going to be providing them with any more financial support, and they need to get themselves back into the office, and that was my job. So that essentially motivated me to put the wheel in motion and hit the gas on my job search. So instead of sort of looking for jobs around Yorkshire, which is what I was doing most of the time, I looked around the whole of UK, and as soon as I did that, the opportunities they were endless, and I started working with all of these different recruiters, and I think it was either Birmingham or London I could have ended up in, and I took the job in London, and that's where I ended up. So Thomson Reuters offered me my first sort of big job after I graduated on their hardware deployment It was a global program. It's literally just after Thomson and Reuters had merged. And we're talking about maybe 40 to 50,000 people that were getting new hardware, that we were rolling out new software to, network migrations, all of that. And they needed somebody who can essentially be the conduit between the business, but also had that tech side as well, who could talk to the Fujitsu engineers around the actual hardware specifications and all of that. So that's how I started out. And literally the last 10 years has just been like a lightning bolt of working on back-to-back projects. So I literally spent the last decade in program project management, business change in pretty much every industry that you can think of. So I was in oil and gas, I was in IT, I was in transportation, and the last 5 years I spent working in financial services and banking. And that was all around financial crime compliance and regulatory compliance change, and helping them deliver projects like that. And what you learn is that, you know, in your degree, they teach you a lot of things and you pick up a lot of skills. You know, they put you in front of all these different systems. They teach you about display technology. You've got AutoCAD, you've got Photoshop, you've got SoundCloud, you've got all of these different softwares that you're utilizing to do all these different things. But you never, well, for me at least, I never utilized any of that stuff that I learned in the 3 years of my degree in terms of the technical skills. That 1 year placement that I did in my 4-year degree, working at an IT help desk for an outsourced IT company, that the skills I picked there essentially were the skills I then utilize. It's the people skills, the communication, stakeholder management, the ability to do things quickly, the ability to use your brain and, you know, figure out solutions to problems quickly, and just those softer skills I ended up using in my career. And that was essentially what made me, I guess, good at working in business change. So I did that. So like I said, the last 10 years, I was promoted in my role last year for a bank, a UK bank. So I'd kind of reached a level where I was, all right, I'm a senior manager at this bank, but I was working so hard and I was putting my everything into this other company. To what end? I ended up burning out, and I ended up having to go to my GP and say, oh my God, I'm stressed. I can't sleep. I'm exhausted. What is going on with me? Then I kind of had a month, you know, figure yourself out, sort yourself out, what you're doing, why you're doing it. Then I found myself back into that pattern again of back in that bank, doing all that crazy stuff again, working in the most toxic environment that you can possibly imagine. And I could feel myself burning out again. And I said, no, okay, right, hold on. No, not again. I'm not going to my GP. You'll think I'm crazy. Let me fix myself. And then I resigned this summer. And I said, okay, I'm not going to jump into something like this again because it's not worked for me in the past. Let me put this energy, let me put this skill, this talent, this effort into something for myself, for the betterment of people. And that's essentially where I am at the moment. So I had an idea after I burnt out, how can I help other people, as opposed to putting all this energy into a company that really doesn't really care about its employees, to be honest. So I had an idea, right, how can I help other people, and how can I get other people who are kind of have the same mindset as me to work with me on this journey? So I set up a group on Meetup. I don't know if you know the app, London Meetup. It was just called Empower at the time, Empower 2020. I had this vision, 2020 is going to be the year of, you know, giving back, everybody coming together, it's going to be positive, it's going to be, and then, you know, COVID happened, we locked down, pandemic, recession, all of that good stuff. But that's kind of how the idea started. And it wasn't until I resigned that I incorporated it as a company in August. Yeah, and literally every day since then, it's been, okay, I've got an idea, let me execute it. I've got an idea, let me execute it. So if you go to our website, everything that you see literally was me waking up one day thinking, my God, there's so many crazy things I'd like to do. How can I execute this? How can I make it happen? So my website right now, somebody looks at it and probably like, what is all of this? You know, you could probably build 12 different nonprofits from what's on that one thing about what our mission is. So right now it's all about a funnel. I've got all these ideas. How can I take it through this model of, okay, those are nice to haves. What's important? What can we do right now that is impactful, it's quick, it's important? How can I partner up with other people that have been doing great things, and how can I use my skills to support them in executing? So it's not just projects that we'll deliver ourselves, but it's working with other people to help execute their ideas and their projects. So that's kind of where I am at the moment with I Empower. And in terms of how I've been spending my time more recently, it's learning from other people that have been doing it for decades. I went to a Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust conference, and there are people on there across the whole of the UK that have been doing this for donkeys of years and have so much knowledge and experience. But what I found was there's the technology and the tech know-how, the digital part was missing. So I've actually partnered up with an established non-profit, it's women's basketball, I think she specializes in. And she's like, I need your help with the tech side. And then perhaps we can work together, and you can, work with me and I can work with you, because I have a wellness element and she's all about health and wellness. So how can we work together to deliver, projects to serve both of our sort of agendas or interests and objectives? So yeah, I think I've waffled on enough. Hopefully you've got a gist of where I'm at and what I'm doing.
To ask you a question, if you had to come up with 3 words to describe the kind of culture you're trying to create, what would they be?
Collaborative, genuine, and just excellence. Yeah.
That's really amazing. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Our next speaker, Charmaine, kind of talk about your tech journey and where you are now and what you're doing.
Yeah, hey everyone. Thank you so much, Hannah, for having me on here. It's been amazing hearing about all you guys' startups and your journeys and everything. I love hearing how your ideas have now, led you to be and do what you're doing now, and it's incredible to hear. So I'll be here speaking about my tech journey and kind of what I do and, how long I've been doing it in general. So similar to Hannah, I started off in science. So I studied neuroscience at university. I graduated in 2015, but in my last year, my semester in university, I realized it's not something that I wanted to do. And I stumbled into tech. I had a module about artificial intelligence and how they try to replicate that in the brain, because I studied neuroscience, and I thought, okay, what kind of roles were there in technology? So that's when I started researching what kind of roles they were, and I was researching events, and that's how I found out about tech and the different roles that were available. Luckily, the event that I went to was really, really good. It was by Target Jobs, which is just a site where they put loads of different technology jobs and for recent graduates. And at the time they had one for IT, just not for the boys. I went there and kind of understood different job roles. I managed to land a job role at a global IT consultancy 3 months after. So I graduated in June, and by September, end of August, September, I started my role. So I had no previous experience in tech or coding or anything. And it was in the first couple of months in my job role, it was picking up new skills, it was getting qualifications, and I've been doing that now for 2 years now, going to 3 next year. And I would say for the last couple months, so I would say for the last maybe, I would say 6 months, I would say maybe since, actually not even 6 months, I would say from March, I would say I started tech influencing. So people that knew me before knew that I was not in the tech field, and I was in more of the sciencey field. That's how I've normally been, and that's what they knew me at. So when they kind of saw that I made the transition, they would always ask, okay, how did you do this? How did you go from A to B? What kind of roles am I there in tech, etc., etc. And because I worked for a tech consultancy, there was different skills that I would have to learn, different qualifications I would have to learn that weren't, for example, it just wasn't just programming. It was learning accessibility tools. It was learning, robotic process automation. It was learning, automation in general. So I was picking up different skills, and I was kind of seeing the different roles that are available in tech that people kind of didn't know about. And because I was working for a consultancy, we'll just have different clients that would go into. I saw the lack of representations. I saw the lack of, when I go to my stand-up meetings, I would see the lack of women in there and Black people just in general. So I thought that, it was time that, I kind of did something about it. So that's when I basically started being a tech influencer. So I would speak on panels. I currently speak to people and like mentor people on a one-on-one basis, kind of understand them as a person and what their role into technology could be. Sometimes I speak to people who are like entrepreneurs, just like a lot of other people on this panel, about, if they've got a tech product or how they kind of want to make their product, the idea into actuality, because sometimes people don't realize that, yeah, they have like an idea or a tech idea or whatever, but they need that push and that understanding that, okay, all you need is a developer now, all you need is this, all you need is like have you thought about having a business analyst on your team or someone that can kind of put your think about what you're doing and make it into actuality. I feel like sometimes when people hear about, having a database or the actual technicalities that come into having a product, yes, it's not easy, but yes, it's possible. Just like how everyone, like a lot of people on this panel have, they've had to create a website, they've had to, own a product, they've had to, have an idea and make it to actuality, if that makes sense. It all takes just someone having that idea. So I do one-on-one mentoring with people like that, or which is like digital transformation, similar to like what Yasmin was saying that she's done. So yeah, and I've been doing that for a couple months now. So it's weird because it's like I've been doing it for such a short period of time, but I've been able to talk to so many people from different parts of the world, from Jamaica to to Germany to the States, and kind of understand where people are in the tech journey, how I can help, and how hold some events just to inspire people. Some people just need a push and just having that knowledge and understanding. So
what advice would you give to someone that wants to be a tech influencer? Like, how do you go about doing that?
I would say the first thing you do is just think about how you want to convey your message. So whether if you're good at writing or you prefer blog posts and you don't really want your face to be there, then try going to blog posts. If it's more, you like to talk and you want to hold events like you, Hannah, then they should hold events. If it's more of a thing where they feel like they're good at recording and editing, or they, prefer to convey the information via stuff like a channel like YouTube or Instagram videos, then that's how you should kind of just look at how you want to send out the information. Just make sure that whatever information that you do give out is accurate, and also that you're also realistic, because I feel like it's always important to tell people the realities of being in tech, or being a tech owner, or being a product owner, that it's not easy, it has its challenges, but tech is always like an industry that's always rewarding.
That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
To give the floor to Duran. Go for it.
Hi guys, how you guys doing? My name is Duran. I'm gonna share links before I talk, so you guys have an idea of what I'm talking about. And also, I don't have a slide, so I'm just gonna use tabs on my browser, so just to show you guys what I'm talking about. So I guess can you? I think it's.
Yep. I've allowed you. Go ahead.
All right. All right. So my name is Duran Ali. I live in Minnesota, US. That's where it's located. So I'm sharing this screen because like there's a lot of things that I need to talk about, and I don't have a lot of time. So to start with, I would say the first business would be that I found was Aleph Cloud. It used to have a different name. Basically, Aleph Cloud is a management software for private schools, and it is basically simply like a software that you could just sign up online. The reason I started this business it was like 2014 when I started, but it took off 2016. That's when I got a lot of clients. So the main reason was because I had some skills, I had programming skills, but they were not that good. And also I was working at a private school. when I was working at that private school, they allowed me to like access their systems and stuff, and I realized that the technology they were using was from like 1995. So I said, I'm gonna start my own. I didn't have the technical background to build the whole application, but eventually I paid developers and stuff, and it took off. So this is the first business I started, and after starting this business, I realized like there is a lot of freedom in having your own business, especially if you're a minority. It is when you live here in the United States, it is very hard to like find the jobs and stuff like that. I did work in the tech field as a software engineer, but it was the time I had for my family and for my business. It was very difficult, so I just took all my time, put on my business. Uh, so while I was doing this, it was passive income, so I didn't have to do a lot. I started another company, SaaS Solutions. It's similar to HANA Codes. It's basically a web design agency. It's a local web design agency. We don't do a lot of international work. So this agency is web design. We work with the Somali community. We work with the East Africa community, and also in general, like the general community of Minnesota. So I was working between these two businesses, and that is when I realized I need to give back. It is okay to like do your own thing. It's okay to go out and find your own niche, find your own business, but at the same time, it's really hard to like find a way to give back. And I had a lot of friends from back home, from Somalia, and they were telling me like they wanted to learn programming, they wanted to learn coding, and I had the skills. I had some time, so I started a YouTube channel, a basically just to share my knowledge and give back. So this YouTube channel, basically I teach web design, web development, programming, coding, and it's all in Somali. So if you don't understand Somali, it's going to be tough to understand. The reason I made it Somali was because I realized there was a lot of content on YouTube for learning programming, for learning coding, but there was not a lot of content in Somali, and that's why I started. And literally, like if you search anything programming related in Somali in YouTube, it's gonna be my videos that's gonna come up, because there's not a lot of content out there. And right now, a lot of people are interested, especially COVID-19. People are staying home. Also, technology is a big thing right now. So I realized, a lot of people need it, and we created a platform. I created a platform. Sorry, that's a different one. I created a platform. It's called Somali Programmers. Basically, Somali programmers, people share ideas. They share their knowledge. They basically share what they're working on. Kind of like give them a platform to like share what they're working on. And it's amazing how people like try to create things and collaborate and things like that. I don't even post that much here. A lot of people, they share something amazing. Most people that share here, they live in Somalia, and that's the interesting part, is that these are like youth that don't have jobs. They don't have any what do you call, they don't have any financial means. They don't have jobs. So their only way to learn is to, most of them that don't understand English, is to go to my videos, to come to this platform. They even tell me like, don't allow people to speak English or other language, but I tell them like, this is an open platform. You can speak whatever language that's easier for you. So it is, this is what I was working on for the last, I would say, 5 years. I started this actually 2 years ago, but my other businesses and stuff like that, and I share tips and stuff with them to show them like they can do it. They tell me like, how did you start the business? How did you start the web design? Some of the guys that I had like with my YouTube that subscribed to me at the beginning, they actually started their own businesses. Some of them started a web design agency. Some of them started their own a design graphic design agency. So it is kind of like paying back, but it's still, the work is not done. The main thing is like they need to get jobs. The youth over there, they need to get jobs, and they are also they live in the country, so they're risking their lives to go to other countries, to Europe, to other countries to get opportunities. And it is important, like it's important for us to give them that opportunity, because we do have something that they don't have, which is the resources, the connections, and also the technology that we have, and sometimes even financial. I collaborate with a lot of nonprofits to teach and to give back. Right now, we're working on a website where the students can actually sign up and they can learn programming and things like that. And it was sponsored by nonprofits. Basically, that's the main thing I'm doing right now. And I have a future thing that's coming. One of the projects I'm working on is a boot camp. It's an online boot camp that you can learn programming. So this is for like people in Europe and US, and you can learn programming. And basically, like, it's just normal boot camp that you could join. So that's kind of like basically what I'm working on. And you see my links. And this is my Twitter. So it's a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's taking care of yourself and also taking care of other people, and making sure like you share your knowledge, because if you don't share your knowledge, then it's gonna go with you. So that leaving something behind, a legacy. So that's kind of like my quick 2 points.
Thank you so much. Just to ask you a quick question, what do you think has helped you get to where you are and to do all these different things? And what advice would you give for others that want to set up a YouTube channel, for instance, or set up a course?
I think what got me here mostly was a challenge that I faced most of the time, especially when I was in college and I was trying to get a job and things like that. I faced a lot of challenges when it comes to finding a job, things like that. And I realized that the best way to get around it is, getting a job or asking someone for a favor or asking connections, things like that, was to start my own business. So that's when I started the business I had. But I feel like it's important for the youngsters to use their skills for something good, and I think that's really important. Another thing that helped me was my family. My wife, she's an amazing person. She let me kind of like do all these things without interruption, and help me, like supporting me. So that's really important for me too. So those are two things that helped me.
Mashallah, that's beautiful. Okay, I'm really conscious about time, so I'm going to give the floor to Aden and Mohammed. Wait, not Aden, Mohammed, Zanel. Sorry, Zanelli. There we go. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. My name is Zanele. I'm a founder based in South Africa. The name of my company, before Welo, I was in mining and construction since 2003 until 2018 as an entrepreneur running my own company. Then I pivoted, then I went into the tech field. So when I started in tech, I didn't know anything about tech. I was not even on WhatsApp. So I was like, but I wanted a space. The reason I came into tech was that I wanted a space where I can bring my innovation and my ideas into life and bring them to life at scale. So for me, tech is that industry where you can bring your ideas, your vision to life and bring it at scale for the whole world to partake in that thing. So then I founded Welo. Welo is short for wellness. It's a medicine delivery app. I think you've seen Amazon in the news lately with the Amazon pharmacies. So it's something exactly like that, where we deliver medicine from the pharmacy direct at home. So you just log on to our WhatsApp chatbot. For now, we're using a WhatsApp chatbot because I wanted something that our people would understand, the language that our people speak. So in South Africa, mostly in our townships, we use a lot of WhatsApp, to communicate and things like that. So I didn't want to start with an app. I said, let me start with a chatbot, use the language that the masses use, use the language that my target market uses. So that's what we're using. They just log on to the chatbot, place their orders, and we do deliveries. So that's where we are at the moment. I'm also a founder of AfriFem Tech. It's an organization of African female founders in the tech space, where we just converge and we talk about our challenges and we network. And I also, match make them with potential investors and mentors who are based in other parts of Africa and in San Francisco, and some of them are in New York and globally. And I have a YouTube channel which started last week called Founders Arc, where I took the name Arc because founders are always building. As a founder, I'm always building and I'm always learning from other founders. So that's where I interview founders, and I'll be getting in touch with all of you guys where I interview founders on their building process, because it has all its ups and downs. So I want to convey that message to potential entrepreneurs, to hear from other founders about how they're building, what are their challenges, what are their wins, how are they raising funds, all the nitty-gritties that are involved in running a startup. And yeah, I'm also a speaker as well at founder events. I also speak on my entrepreneurial journey. That's it. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. And what do you feel like is the biggest risk that you've taken with the businesses that you've started?
I think the biggest risk was going all in with no like a backup of a job, of a salary. That was, for me, was the biggest risk. Even when I was studying in construction, and when I did mining, and even when I did tech now, I went all in because I was starting mostly as a solo founder, especially in tech. I didn't have a technical partner, so I had to just go in all out. So for me, that was the biggest risk, going all out while bootstrapping, your only source being bootstrapping your way before you fundraise. And bootstrapping is not romantic at all, guys. I would prefer to have a mom and dad with a trust fund, or some money, some checks from my uncles and aunts. Really, it's not glamorous at all. But yeah, for me, that has been the biggest risk, just going all in with no financial backup, with just your vision and the will to start, the will to just be gritty and be innovative and take it as it comes. Talk to your customers, build one day at a time, keep building, with all those pressures. So yeah.
I feel like we all relate to that, just not having a trust fund and going all in. So that was amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, for last but not least, let's go to Aden and Mohammed. Go ahead.
So yeah, likewise, Hannah, thanks for inviting us on this platform. It's been great hearing everyone's stories and journeys to where they are now. So myself, my name's Aden, and Mohammed is also in the chat as well. We're founders of two companies, 5ID Studio and Titan Mixer Bottle. And similar to everyone else in this group as well, is we didn't necessarily plan out to become entrepreneurs and to own companies. It was something that was a part of our journey. So I went to school for, originally I thought I was going to be in the arts, something creative. I wasn't sure if it was going to be architect or what exactly, but eventually while I was in school, I had learned about industrial design. And while I was in the program, I had met Mohammed and also our other three co-founders, Jared, Fred, and Lonnie. So we're a collective of African and African-American, brothers in the design program. And we actually had found out from our professors that having 5 Black kids in the program was actually rare at the time. You don't really see that, those many students of color in the program at the exact same time. We were all different, levels ahead. I was a sophomore. Well, a couple of the other guys were ahead of me, but essentially we just had a real positive bond just based on, our backgrounds and also the things we were interested in. And at first, we got together and just worked on projects outside of school, maybe homework, different things. And it wasn't until we decided to try to actually build something. And it wasn't even in a company. We just wanted to, maybe apply for some student competitions, get a little bit of, funds in our pockets so we can kind of get ourselves through school. But we eventually had the idea for what would become Titan Mixer Bottle. And essentially we decided, you know what, we think this is something that's big enough for us to, kind of keep it in-house and work on it and develop it. And, we developed it while we were going to school. We had internships and some of us were balancing our senior thesis projects as well. And it took us a year and a half to get it essentially from sketch to idea. And, we sketched out, for those who aren't knowledgeable in the industrial design process or the product design process, you're basically taking an idea from sketch. You're brainstorming, you're doing all the different design strategy process. Then you have to get it built in CAD in the computer. And then eventually you have to get it over to a manufacturer to build as well. So, because, we were all in school, we didn't necessarily have, we weren't trust fund babies per se. We didn't have people we could go to get, the funds that we needed. We decided to go online on Kickstarter and, just to see if our idea was worth it. And it wasn't until we had launched our campaign and we had raised 70,000 in 45 days, in which we used to start our company, begin manufacturing, and then from there build 5ID Studio as a design consultancy is today, as well as Time Mixer Bottle, which is its own fitness and wellness brand as well. So, yeah.
Evan, you pretty much shared the whole story, man. I feel like I don't even need to talk.
I didn't leave much for you, but I think Idil had touched on it, or Ibrahim had touched on it as well. Having partners is something that we could talk about also, because there's 5 of us, and 5 of us is especially having 5 co-founders is kind of a lot, and we were friends before we started also. And I think those are things that you don't necessarily think about going into starting a business, but you have to make sure that everyone's ideas and everyone's feedback and everything is, everyone's heard at the table, and everyone has a seat at the table, but also staying motivated and making sure that, you're working together to your common goal, which is getting your products off the ground or a client work, whoever it might be.
So what are your different roles in the company?
Sure. So essentially we're all designers. So, when it comes to the actual design work, we have, we all have that experience. We all went to school for the same thing essentially, but we our different roles are split. So myself, I'm doing more of the marketing. Mohammed himself is doing. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I just got an internet unstable connect message on mine, but yeah, basically, Mohammed has his roles as well, which may involve customer service and client outreach. Other guys might be doing the business side of things. So when it comes to the day-to-day, as far as designing and working on actual projects, our roles are pretty similar, but it's a lot of the administrative side of things that's what we kind of try to segue things off of. So, we're not stepping on each other's toes, and we're getting as much done as we possibly can. Mohammed, you can add something too.
You want to add something?
This is your platform as well.
I feel like you did such a great job, man. I don't really need to say that. The only thing that I would add is the fact that, being Black in a program that is predominantly white, and sometimes with Asian students, seeing people that look like you make a difference, right? When I first saw Adam, I didn't even think he was Somali. And I kind of approached him like, "What are you? I'm Somali Batahai," and he was like, "Ha." I was like, "All right, done deal. We starting to work together right now." And it really, really makes a difference. And even to this day, we're connected to the program. We give back to the design program as much as we can, especially when it comes to talking to the upcoming freshmen and particularly those that are of color. Because there's not many professors that are Black that look like them that they can say, I need to connect with you because I'm just now learning, what design is, and I don't know what career path to go. So it makes a difference having people that look like you, that you are friends with, that you're cool with. And then the one thing that I would add is I remember this day vividly when we first started launching, when we started putting the company together. There was this individual that we both knew either from the program or from outside the program. And I remember he said vividly, he was like, "Aren't you guys all Black?" Right? And the fact that kind of surprised him was like something interesting to me because, when we work at these predominantly white companies, we don't necessarily ask like this company's all white, right? So when they see young Black males that are all together doing something that is actually working and that's very creative and innovative, they're kind of taken back by that fact. So I would just add on that, you know, it's very, very important to work with, you know, people that inspire you and people that you cool with. So yeah. I mean, Adam, you did great, bro. I feel like I don't need to say nothing as far as our journey, man. You covered that as best as you could.
In regards to getting funding, what advice would you give to people?
I would say, you know, when we first launched, we had funds to make the product overseas in China. And a lot of people don't know, but you need to actually plan out your budget because there are things that come up along the process that you don't necessarily account for. And, you know, when you're starting out this journey, there's going to be a lot of people that reach out to you that may necessarily be a good fit, right? Because someone can have the money, but they don't necessarily know exactly what you're doing, right? For our case, I have you know an aunt of mine, and she owns a home daycare business. She's not in the fitness industry. She doesn't know what it takes to make a product. She doesn't know those sort of things, and so while I do love her, and you know she's my aunt, I wouldn't take money from her because that just kind of constrained the relationship when certain scenarios come up, right? So I would say when it comes to funding, go after people that are familiar with what you're doing, and don't take money from anybody because at the end of the day, you want someone who's a good fit. You don't necessarily want someone to just be on the team or just give you money and then that's it. Because most of the time, when you have someone who invests, they're going to be involved. And in our case, we are all, you know, to this day, majority owners. We own majority of our company, and we have a silent partner of ours, and that, you know, he's an angel investor, and he's sort of a hands-off. He has sort of a hands-off approach. You know, when you have that sort of trust, then you know the relationship fosters and it grows. And one thing that I will add is when we first launched, we didn't know that the impact that we were going to have, and you know, we ended up shipping to 55 different countries. We went to different expos around the country. And in 2017, when the Muslim ban happened, we were working at this expo called the Arnold Classic. And when we had our booth, there were, you know, all sorts of people come. You got people that, you know, are just fitness enthusiasts or just health hobbyists and so on and so forth. And there was this individual that was wearing a Trump hat, "Make America Great Again," right? So he came up to our booth and he bought a bottle. And then he took a picture with us, right? And the impact that has, he doesn't know that the bottle he's buying is actually made by Black Muslim individuals that is also from the country that was also banned, right? And so those are the sort of impacts that you can have as a founder, and you know, being able to make a product that makes a difference. So I really, really admire all of you because the work and the dedication that it takes to put this together, and you know, to constantly not know how it's going to look in the next 3 or 5 or months and years is something that is admirable. So I congratulate all you guys, and I would just say keep at it, and I'm super proud of you guys.
That was amazing. Thank you. So I'm going to just ask a general question to everyone. So do you have like a specific experience where you wish that you or the organization that you're in had done something differently? And if you were to do it over, what would you change? I'll give you guys a second to think about it.
What was the question again?
Okay. Do you remember a specific experience of where you wish that you or the organization that you're working in had done something differently? And if you were to do it over, what would you change?
I I think for us, there was an experience that we had where we were pretty close to pitching on Shark Tank. We drove down to Chicago to audition, and we made it pretty far enough to be picked to be on the last season of Shark Tank. And we went through the rounds, we went through practice with the producers. Two of the guys even flew out to LA to pitch in front of the Sharks. And what they do is they purposely overbook people so that they have enough people on the show. And we were unfortunately the last group of individuals that ended up pitching, and so we didn't end up getting picked to be on Shark Tank because they had enough for that season. And one thing that, in retrospect, looking back now, I would tell the guys, hey, let's not go to this. It's not gonna work out right now. I think there's a better opportunity for us to fly down to LA and pitch in front of Mark. And I don't know if you guys watched Shark Tank or not, but I think that experience in itself, I would definitely redo all over again. But you can't know these sort of things until it happens, right? And you look back and say, I think it happened, in our best interest. And when it did, I mean, if any of you guys have watched Shark Tank, they ask you very, very business-oriented questions, right? And they drill down to the numbers and how many sales you have, and because they want to know if there's a demand for this product. And we were so early on in the process that I think we could have dug ourselves a hole had we gone on the show. So it kind of worked itself out, but at the same time, I'd still like to redo it again and be able to pitch in front of Mark and have our bottle be in GNC. I mean, we are on GNC, but have our bottle on, major retailers like Walmart and so on and so forth.
So, okay, go ahead.
No, go
ahead. Yeah. So just to that point, I really feel like a lot of times entrepreneurs, whatever you do, there's a reason for it. And like, it depends on what you believe, but I believe whatever negative or whatever happens to you, it's for a reason. And I feel like you learn from it. Sometimes you wish like you did something, but it might not be good for you. So one of the things that was, I started YouTube way back, like 2006, but it was for like useless stuff. And after that, I started sharing like Islamic stuff, things like that, beneficial things. But for a long time, it was like I post like once a year or something like that. But I could have like started way back and benefited a lot of people. I used to live in San Diego, California. And I had a lot of time at that time. I was working on like a security job, security officer job, and I was just sitting at a place. I could have shared a lot of knowledge at that time, but you just don't think of your future at that time. You just think of like what do you have at that moment. You don't think of like what impact you're gonna make in the future and how you can impact other people. And also you don't think about a business. You just start a business because you see the opportunity, and also you might also have the skills to start that business. So I feel like people mature over time, and if you look back, you could learn from what you did, and you could say, I don't want to do that again. But at the same time, I think there's no benefit of regretting it. There's, you could just learn from it and move on. And everybody has their ups and downs, and it's just, you have opportunity and it passes, you have another opportunity, and you just keep going. So that was one of the things that I could have done different, was just starting a YouTube a long time ago. So that was the only thing I could think of.
For me, it's like a couple things, but the major one I would say is when we basically started our bid phone, we had like a 3-pronged approach, right? We wanted to archive things, archive oral histories, B, put out cultural, put out content to do the culture in an easily digestible way, and 3, the record label. I regret not putting as much emphasis on the oral histories part, just because so much like this year has been extremely terrible for some of the artists, a lot of people that passed away. So I wish that we put more emphasis on preserving preserving, because this is, I feel like this, maybe this is going to be the last generation where we can kind of claw back as much as possible. And then another small thing was like, I had the opportunity to go to Hamra this year, me and Ido. The situation, like just stuff to do with passports and stuff, I wasn't able to go. That's a very big regret of mine. I just wish I had my life pattern a bit better, so I was able to take that opportunity when it came. But it is what it is, isn't it?
Oh, I'm going to quickly ask our sponsor a question, and then I'll go back to the question. You guys can have a bit of a think. So Khalid, I just wanted to ask you quickly, in the future for Ignite Network, what does that look like? And do you have any upcoming schemes and events?
Yeah, oh, great question. I was getting so lost in all the great things you guys are saying. I'm loving it so far. In terms of kind of upcoming events and what's the future and what we want to do. So currently there's 2 ongoing programs. They have already been filled up, but I still kind of can tune in, and I should go on for a couple more months. The first of which I kind of mentioned before was the mentoring program. So it's going well. That's still continuing, and hopefully we can, and these 2, and the other one was kind of getting to consulting program. So where people are trained up to kind of getting to like these consulting internships and graduate schemes, and then hopefully try to give them a project experience as well. And these are hopefully going to be yearly programs, and we would like to long term add more programs into more industries. Also, we have a current kind of Instagram live series, so if you go on our Instagram page, you should be able to find where we kind of hopefully we try to aim for like once or twice a month, bring professionals down from different industries to kind of give the insight to what they do, how they got in. And so far we've done one with kind of banking / consulting. We're also done with the kind of for the people in the UK, the civil service and other government work. And hopefully we're planning in the works to do one with tech person. I'm not sure exactly what, but it's been organized. And in terms of kind of more events, what we're hoping to do in the future as well is what we'll want to do anyway next is like a kind of a what is kind of tech event. So perhaps collaborating with Hannah Codes or Bridge the Gap hopefully. And that's one thing we want to do as well, maybe by the end of the year. And more events kind of surrounding those kind of feeling of what are different industries. So those are kind of the different things that are going on. And obviously, because it's an ongoing process and trying to organize and do things, hopefully more stuff will come. But you can check us out on all our socials, and we post advice. Well, we were posting advice, hopefully post more like advice on different things as well, and hopefully we can continue helping young people. Yeah, so that's us.
That's amazing. I'm going to ask a few questions randomly to a few people. So Yasmin, I want to ask you if you feel more free now, and that you've escaped the kind of corporate life and the background. Do you feel more free? I feel like that was the first thing for me when I started my own business as well. The freeness.
A daily affirmation. I wake up, I say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen every single morning. It's peaceful. It's a sense of relief. That I'm not running on caffeine every day. I'm running on passion. That's my fuel these days. It's like night and day, honestly. And that's something actually I want to create a project specifically teaching other people, who look like us, that there is another avenue. It doesn't have to be the traditional avenue that I took. If you're not an academics person, there's other things you can do to create a great life for yourself. And also, if you want to do your own thing, let's teach them business skills. Let's teach them entrepreneurship as an option.
That's amazing. Charmaine, could you tell us a bit about your upcoming book?
Yeah, so I have an ebook coming out. So it's talking about how I became an influencer and how I found my niche. So I'll be sharing all my tips and tricks, how I, get paid by brands and all that kind of stuff. And, how there's different niches in influencing. It's just not always about fashion and beauty, and how I got into my tech influencing. So yeah, I'm excited to send that out to everybody.
That's awesome. Since we all couldn't agree on the mint chocolate chip thing, I'm gonna ask a really silly question at the end so that I know I'm really conscious about time. How do you guys feel about putting pineapple on pizza?
I don't mind.
Oh,
I don't mind only
we
because
agreed on the salted caramel thing, and now I'm like, oh, okay, go on.
So wait, no, sorry, let me get this straight, right? You're cussing out mint chip, but you're eating pineapple on pizza.
the sweet.
Make it make sense is the right phrase here.
Okay, wait, hold on. But do people like waffles and chicken? Thank you.
Pineapple does not belong on it. I feel very passionate about this. Keep fruit away from pizza.
But Somali people eat banana with rice, so
Listen, we're special.
Thank you.
Same thing. It's not the same thing.
It is exact same thing.
Thank you.
It's not the same thing at all.
Thank you.
I feel like the odd man out. I like pineapples on pizza and mint chocolate chips. So I'm just.
Oh no. Hot fruit is just a no.
Charmaine, what did you say about chicken and waffles?
That's what I'm saying. People have chicken waffles, the savory, salty. It's even like salty and sweet.
It's just sweet and savory. That's just the best combination. However you get
it's nice. That's what I'm saying. So pineapple pizza has a little bit where you bite into the pineapple, has a bit of a juicy squirt, whilst the
that's hot pineapple and cheese. What's going on?
Pineapple don't belong on pizza. I'm not with that.
Yeah.
This is.
I feel like
whoever came up with that must have been on some drugs, because that's just a combination that don't work well together.
It really doesn't. I feel like we're equally divided there.
I think it works great together. I think it's like it tastes up.
Thank you, Duran. Thank you.
Chicken and waffles, on the other hand, that's a match made in heaven.
Yeah. With maple syrup, the best.
Oof.
So I'd like to thank all of you for participating today. Honestly, it's been amazing to hear about your journeys. I wish we had more time. I know that we ran over a little bit. So thank you all for coming together in unity and understanding the importance of our group representation and just being a face that people can look up to. I also want to thank our partners for this event, the Ignite Network. Please check them out on social media. I'm going to say a little paragraph that I've written out for this. I feel like together we can inspire and pave the way for many more talented people who've yet to come. By sharing our experiences, we lay the bricks which will become the foundation for the roads that the future generations will walk. So if you're offering a service, you're doing a disservice if you don't give to the community and put it in front of them to try and change the world and their perspective. Again, thank you guys so much. Honestly, I've learned so much from you guys just from this short chat. And I feel like you guys should all follow each other as well. Feel free to plug yourselves. I will be tweeting at the end about the event too. I feel like my team did an amazing job tonight. Thank you guys so much. I see you guys blowing up the comments and Twitter. You guys are amazing. This wouldn't be possible without you guys.
I just want to add, Adam is in the UK now, so show him some love if you're nearby.
Yeah,
I'll add him. Make sure y'all show him around and show what's popping in the city.
I just want to say,
that up, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I cut out.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just saying thank you to Hannah on the Bridge the Gap. You guys doing amazing work. I remember when you guys started these live sessions. I didn't have the opportunity to come. I think most of the time you guys were doing in UK time, so it's hard for me to come in. But you guys doing amazing work. I see your Twitter is amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm going to start doing the little coffee mornings on Clubhouse now. I don't know if you guys are on Clubhouse.
Send me an invite. I'm trying to get into it.
Yeah, I don't know what is that.
I'm going to start selling invites. Everyone keeps telling me, send me an invite. As soon as I get invites, I'm going to start selling it to you guys.
What is Clubhouse?
Clubhouse is a platform. Do you remember Pow Talk from back in the day?
Yeah.
It's basically like audio rooms, but more intellectual. Although there are some kind of problematic rooms that are on there, but it's mostly been intellectual. And loads of really smart people come together, and it's like a free space. And they've created all their little social media things. It's great. You can program events beforehand. I feel like you guys got it first, like the American lot. And it's just blown up now in Europe. It's really good. It's like a podcast. Like sometimes I leave it on while I'm doing things in the background and you chime in, chime out.
Do you have to get an invite or can you just
it's like invite only. It's super.
You gotta be cool enough, Muhammad. We're not cool enough. That's what it is.
Oh damn! All right, it's cool.
I remember I tweeted out that I was on Clubhouse and someone was like, "Someone said you an invite." I'm like, "Am I not cool enough?"
No.
But no. As soon as I get invites, I'll tweet it out and may the best man win. But again, thank you guys so much. Tonight's been really insightful.